Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Yeah? Did you do anything exciting today or this week? Since I saw you last.
Not really. I was at home most of the days. I watched like a new series on Netflix.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the Sabrina series.
Ooh, I have also watched the Sabrina series. I'm a big fan. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I like things about magic and witchcraft, all these things.
Yeah, it's fun sometimes to suspend disbelief, watch something a little magical.
Okay. Yeah, I like that she can just do whatever she can't want when she wants to do it.
Yeah. It's sort of a nice reality to imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to get started and do a little something different today, if that's okay with you. So I know last week we talked a little bit about the particular things that make you anxious, especially thinking about school, right? We called that identifying triggers. And so today I thought that we could piggyback off of that, so to speak, and list out those things again. But what I want us to do is hone in on one of them and to sort of deconstruct and analyze whatever thought you're having or whatever it is that you're worried about at school, and think about whether or not it's based on things you're actually seeing, things that you're just feeling, and whether or not it's something that is actually really anxiety provoking, or maybe there's a little more to the story. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to use this worksheet. And it's called Putting Thoughts on Trial, which I know seems a little silly. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the things that you've told me before, which I really appreciate. And what I want to do is sort of just label that thought, right? Whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that we decide that is giving you anxiety. And then we're going to talk about what the defense for that thought is and what the prosecution for that thought is, right? So what are you using to base why you're worried, and what are the other ways you could see things that it wouldn't be so worrisome?
Okay.
And then we'll talk about sort of where you land after thinking about those two sides.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Is this going to be about school?
It could be about whatever you think it needs to be about. So I want you to be able to guide it.
Okay. So I need to come up with a thought that I have regarding a specific thing, or what?
Yeah, why don't we talk about, so if you remember when we spoke last week, we talked a little bit about some of the things that make you feel like you're anxious on the scale of 1 to 5, some of those 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
So do you want to just maybe list a few of those out, or just write them down? You don't have to say them to me. I have a pen here for you.
Okay, thanks.
And while you do that, I'm just going to make sure I set a timer so I know how much time we're going through.
Sure. So how many thoughts do I need to?
It doesn't have to be a lot. Why don't we just start with even like...
I'm just so bad at these things. Do you think I don't know.
There's no way to be bad at it, I
hate
promise.
my handwriting.
Okay.
Do you want to write it?
If you want me to write it, that's okay with me.
Okay.
Alright. And then you can just tell me. So what are some of those things that are 4s and 5s? Or things that you think about that make you anxious?
It makes me anxious to talk to new people I don't know.
Okay. What else do you get worried about at school? Or with talking to new people?
I don't like to, so, when you're in a classroom and the teacher asks you to do a presentation or speak in front of others, I hate that. I hate group activities, and I hate that we are evaluated, our interventions in the classroom are graded, and I know for sure that I'm never gonna get those points. I wanna do well at school, but I'm never gonna get those points for just actively participate in class, because that's just never gonna happen. I think I just will die before I have to just stand up and speak in front of others.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say then that the thing that's making you anxious is speaking in front of others, and then is it getting bad grades is its own thing, or
Yes.
yeah?
I guess so. I like to learn. It's not something that I don't like to do, but just it is hard for me to get those grades
Yeah.
if I have to be like the other kids. I'm not like the other kids.
Participating is kind of hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. And there's no question about whether you're bright and smart. Everyone agrees that you are, right? We've talked about this before when your mom was in the room and everyone else at the court. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that that's not a problem for you, but I can see how maybe it would be anxiety provoking to have to speak in front of people. So what do you think would be best for us to talk about out of these three?
Maybe talk to people in general.
Talking to new people? Okay. So, do you want to write or do you want me to keep writing?
I want you to write.
Keep writing? Okay. So what's the thought you have in your head when you're worried about talking to new people?
Well, it's not that I have a lot of opportunities to do that because I'm spending most of my time at home.
That's good.
But sometimes I don't know, like people knock on the door in the house and I'm scared that I don't want to talk to them, so I will pretend that nobody's in the house, and I will never open the door because I don't want to engage in any conversations. At school though, I don't have a lot of friends, so I was friendly with a couple of people, but never really had this very like the kind of relationships that other people have.
Okay.
So I don't know. It makes me very anxious. Like my hands are sweating and my heart is pounding and my thoughts are, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Maybe I think that they are not gonna like me
Okay.
if they get to know me.
Right. Okay. So I think you're doing a really awesome job talking about what it feels like in that moment, right? So it feels like you're really anxious, your hands get sweaty, and your heart starts pounding, right?
And I always I always say stupid things when I meet somebody for the first time. Like my comments are stupid,
Okay.
and I think people can tell that I don't know how to interact.
Okay. So the thought then is, what, you're worried that others are...
Thinking I'm strange or stupid.
Okay. So I'm gonna write this like you would. So others think I'm what?
Weird
Others think I'm weird.
and not normal.
Okay. And not normal.
I don't see myself in the same way that I see other kids, I think like everybody has friends and everybody does these things and everybody seems to have like know what they are doing, and I don't feel that way. I don't feel that I look the same I behave the same as other people.
Okay. Well, so why don't we think about which one would you rather start with, defense or prosecution? I'll let you choose.
Defense.
Defense? Okay. So what do you think happens? What do you see or hear or whatever else, right? What do you see happen that you think defends this thought, that makes this valid and right?
Well, so people will talk to me.
Okay. I'm just going to write that down exactly. And you're saying that that's evidence of the fact that people think you're weird and not normal.
Yes.
All right.
Some people look at me in a strange way, like judging me.
Okay, people look at you strangely. Okay. anything else you want to add there?
I'm different than the other people.
Okay. I feel different. So, when you say people don't talk to you, you said you do have a few friends though, right?
I was friendly with a couple of girls.
Okay, well, what are their names?
Anna and Susie.
Anna and Susie? Okay. I'm gonna add them to the prosecution, I think. So how did you get to be friendly with Anna and Susie? Did they talk to you? Did you talk to them?
We had a lot of classes together, and I think so. They are both friends, and one of the classes we had together was art. So they commented on my a drawing I made.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then from then on, every time that they saw me, they will just approach to me and say hi.
Okay. So what do you think made that different then, right? So there's a situation in which people are talking to you. Do you think that they thought you were weird and not normal?
Maybe.
Maybe, right. But at least this refutes a little bit. So if we think people don't talk to you as evidence, we know Anna and Susie talk to you.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I just want us to think, and you may be right, and I know this sometimes feel like going through a lot, but are there other reasons maybe we could think people don't talk to you? Is there any other explanation? It's a really creaky chair.
I don't know. I guess I don't talk to them either.
You don't talk to them? Yeah. Okay. And why would that maybe make people uncomfortable talking to you?
Maybe they think I'm not friendly. Maybe they think I don't talk.
Okay.
I don't talk much.
All right. So maybe there's this other idea in there that people are nervous to talk to you, right? Maybe they're feeling anxious just like you are. Okay. That's a possible explanation.
It's just they don't look like they will not talk to me because they are anxious.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, the way they behave is just they have their shit together, you know.
Why do you think they have their shit together?
They're always in groups and they're not scared.
Okay. Do you know that they're not scared? Okay. Or maybe that they're not nervous to talk in front of people or talk in front of the class like you.
Yeah, they do it.
They do it. Yeah, that's true. But they could still be scared, right? Maybe. Maybe we can put it down, but I can see that you're skeptical.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe people are scared too about talking or speaking in front of people. So you've got a few maybes over here, right, as to your evidence, maybe refuting the evidence a little bit that people don't talk to you because you're weird or not normal. Maybe it's actually that they're anxious to talk to you, or maybe that they're also scared of talking in front of other people, right? And then when you think people look at you strangely, maybe they're actually just curious, or maybe they want you to be a part of the group, or whatever's happening in class.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything of that we can add to the evidence against the thought that people think you're weird and not normal?
They don't know me.
They don't know you. Okay. So, and I know this one is usually the harder one. I'll be honest for that. But is there anything you think that refutes the fact that others think you're weird and not normal? I think Anna and Susie were really great examples, right? Anna and Susie talked to you, they complimented you. I don't think they think you're weird or not normal. Is there anything else like that or that you can think of?
I don't know. It's just like I always feel that I'm weird. Maybe I don't know.
That's totally fine. I promised there was no right and wrong, and there isn't. This is just for you to think about, right? Because sometimes, I think maybe this thought, right, or at least in the case of Anna and Susie, isn't true, right? So maybe people do like talking to you or don't think that you're weird. Okay, so it sounds like you've got a few close people.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them in a long time, so probably they forgot about me already.
Okay, maybe. So what I want us to think about now, right, is so we put a few things on this side, we put a few things on this side, and now I want us to review that, right, and think about how likely is it really that others think I'm weird and normal, right? Is it always true? Is it sometimes true? Not always true? Right, the judge's verdict.
You're smart.
So are you.
I think that all the thoughts that I described can be challenged, I guess. There's always another way to see things. But,
Yeah.
but it's just so hard, because I feel it, like, and it's true. And yeah, I guess there could be other reasons why I feel that people think like that about me.
Okay.
I really never thought about other different options.
So can I put, I know this is not a super fair judge's verdict per se, but can we say maybe others don't think I'm weird?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be helpful for us to talk about maybe some coping skills or things that you can do to help you relax and calm down in the future so that you could do something like this.
Sure, like if that's the thing that will work, I will try it, I guess, yes.
If you're open to it, I think it might be a good idea. So I know, right, we've done a lot of work today, we've done a lot of good work, and I think that you've done an awesome job talking about it, about what, your anxiety feels like, when it's sort of bad and when it's the worst, and thinking about how it makes you think versus how the way things actually are, right? It makes you feel like you're weird and not normal, but maybe that's not the case. And so now I think we can talk about, okay, when you're having that thought, right, or when you're feeling that way, like what can you do, right, to help feel a little more secure or feel a little more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
I know, but that takes a lot of work.
Yes, I feel exhausted already.
Okay, that's fair. We don't have to do any more today.